Before we start this video, after editing, I realized that Risk Runner might be actually insane to counter the 100 resilience bug in Destiny right now for Warlocks and Titans. You can also get a mod called Trace Evidence on the artifact that allows you to get ionic traces from arc weapon kills, not just special weapon kills. So, definitely pick this weapon up if you don't have it already, and definitely consider using it in the raid tomorrow. Alright, enjoy the video. Yo, what's up, Guardians? It's Next Up Nova back with another Destiny 2 Season 18 build video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a very strong Day 1 King's Fall World's First Raid Race build. So, yesterday I made a video on Warlock Arc 3.0 for Day 1, and people were telling me in the comments section that you do not have any resilience even when you have 100 resilience. The 40% damage reduction is not actually working properly. So I thought, how could I make this better and pretty much mitigate this? So I found a way, even with Arc. First off, on the helmet, we've got 2 Bottomless Bounty 2 mods. Stacking this together gives you a lot of health whenever you use the Soul Drinker perk. And if you have an Artifice Armor helmet, you can actually apply this and triple stack this. So it only costs 1. Obviously, with these mods that I have on right now, I still have 1 slot. So if I had an Artifice slot here, I could triple stack this. And basically what it does is it gives you health based on the number of hits before reloading. So even if you don't get a kill, if you get a lot of hits before you reload, you get a lot of health back. And then obviously using this gives you more health whenever that perk procs. So now we have Font of Might. This mod is insane. It is actually being sold at A1 today until tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is the raid launch. So I would 100% recommend going to A1 right now and picking this up. So basically what it does, picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that same elemental type. I used this in my Warlock build as well yesterday, and there's pretty much no reason not to run this, as it does just make your weapons better. So the weapons I have right now are Forbearance for Soul Drinker and Thunderlord for Ad Clear. I also got the brand new Thunderlord Catalyst, which reads, causing a lightning strike with this weapon partially reloads the magazine from reserves. This basically just allows you to reload the weapon. It's very similar to Subsistence, where you just keep reloading over and over and over. Obviously, it's not a full reload, but since it's a machine gun, you're very likely to be able to keep shooting the gun for long periods of time without reloading. Very powerful for Ad Clear here, and it has Overload in case there are any overloads in the Day 1 raid. Who knows? Next, on the gauntlets, we have this is just a champion slot if you want to put any champion mods here. Fastball, I really like Fastball, but it's not required. Obviously, you could use one of these other things here. But Melee Wellmaker. Melee Wellmaker is very good for Titan, as Titans are built around melees, especially Arc 3.0 type. Definitely recommend picking this up, because every time you get a powered melee combatant final blow, it spawns an elemental well matching your subclass energy type. This is very strong, because obviously, yes, it does proc Font of Might. So, the exotic we're using is Curus of the Falling Star. Everyone pretty much knows about this weapon at this point, because it greatly increases your Thunder Crash impact damage, and you get an overshield that lasts longer the farther you travel before striking a target. So this is really nice, like if you're doing DPS on a boss or ads, and you have to fly towards the ads, you get an overshield whenever you do it so that you don't instantly die. So I just double stacked these mods here, but you can obviously put like Concussive Dampener, Melee Damage Resistance for Scion, Thralls, all types of these other mods here instead of these 2, but I just have these on just for default, just for an example. Well of Life as well. Picking up a Solar Elemental Well grants increased regen for a short period of time. You might be asking me right now, Nova, why are you using Well of Life with Arc? That doesn't work. Well, if you go to my legs, you can see I have Explosive Wellmaker. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. And yes, this does make solar wells, and it does also work with Forbearance, since Chain Reaction causes the explosion. So this is a very clutch mod. Another thing is, I just have these here for now. You could probably swap this to like a Rezel mod and put like Linear Fusion Scav here, or Machine Gun Scav if you want to remove this completely, whatever. But yeah, I just kind of have these as placeholders for now. You can use any of these types of mods here. But yeah, the last one is Elemental Time Dilation. Elemental well mods that grant you time limited benefits can now stack, increasing the duration of the effect for each copy of the mod you have equipped. This is very nice to have if you want longer durations on your healing buffs and also your arc damage buffs. So obviously these mods can be interchangeably take off like these mods and change them around all you want. But yeah, this is just here for now, because again, you can swap mods. You can use Supreme Wellmaker as well if you want to use Reed's Regret for DPS. It's another great mod to use with Thunder Crash. But yeah, Thunderous Retort is the class item mod that I really like. It is on the artifact. It grants bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded or while amplified, and it lasts until the end of the super activation. So it's actually broken right now. I definitely recommend if you have time before tomorrow and you're doing the raid race, then make sure you pick up this mod because it is crazy. It makes Curus do even more damage. It's really, really strong. So we're gonna go to the Striker subclass and show you what I'm running. So Thunder Crash, Towering Barricade, you can literally use any of these three, but I prefer Towering because if there's a lot of ads, I like just putting it up. Rally is also good too. Strafe Lift, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whatever you prefer here. Strafe Lift, I personally like the most. Thunderclap, this is definitely, you need to be using this because it is going to be so busted. The chaining and ad clear. Storm Grenades. Storm Grenades are actually crazy, and I'm going to show you why momentarily. Touch of Thunder. This basically buffs your Storm Grenade so that you have a roaming thundercloud that tracks nearby targets and fires bolts of lightning at foes beneath it. Next is Knockout, the Bottom Tree Striker perk that was previously in Arc 2.0. Critically wounding a target or breaking their shield infuses your melee attacks with arc energy and increases your melee range and damage for a short time. Defeating targets with melee attacks starts health regen and makes you amplified. So this is very, very strong. It's almost similar to the Hunter arc build that a lot of people are going to be using as well because it increases your melee damage, but you also heal and you get amplified on melee kills. Fragment wise, the two that you have to have on are Spark of Beacons and Spark of Resistance. Spark of Beacons pretty much gives your Forbearance blinding grenades when you're amplified. And Spark of Resistance just gives you damage resistance, but we're not fully sure if this actually works yet. But just in case this gets fixed before the raid tomorrow, I would have this on. Spark of Shock, this is really good too because it jolts targets, allowing them to chain. Spark of Volts, I've decided to use this for a Titan build because finishers make you amplified, which really helps with your amplified build. And yeah, it allows you to have blinding grenades here. And it just pretty much synergizes with the rest of the build. And obviously you are going to be doing a lot of finishers because there's a lot of enemies with a good amount of health that you want to just absolutely destroy. So yeah, that's the subclass section of it. That's pretty much it, honestly. Weapons wise, Thunderlord's really strong for ad clear. Storm Chaser, Hothead are great options for different situations. Storm Chaser being like Font of Might DPS. Obviously Forbearance or Salvo is really nice too, but Forbearance is better because of the Bottomless Bounty 2 perk. But for example, on the Totems encounter, there are Boomer Knights that spawn up top, so you might want to use Salvagers for that situation. But yet again, it's all personal preference, but I just think that Forbearance is better. Submission Adept is like my favorite SMG right now, like primary SMG, legendary for PvE. Also Taken Spec, make sure you apply Taken Spec to both of your legendary weapons, or 3 if you're running 3 legendary weapons, that's fine too. But I honestly think it definitely needed to just have an exotic no matter what. But yeah, Thunderlord is my pick. You can obviously pick different things, like Dead Messenger is a great option too if you don't have like Salvo or. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole build. If you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments section. Really appreciate you guys watching through this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button with post notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads, and have a fantastic day, Guardians. Peace.